weirdo.
Oof.
I don't get no what you got in your head, that neural link. You'll never outthink me. Ever.
No, this part is not alleged. Jay-Z and his team, they have been ducking and dodging, taking the...
Rumors are exploding across the industry that not all of Diddy's children are biologically his. And the man allegedly connected to this shocking revelation is Jay-Z. The story resurfaced as Rymir Satterthwaite, now 31, continues his decade-long legal battle claiming Jay-Z is his father. But sources say the scandal runs deeper, potentially involving Diddy's family and igniting a hidden feud that may have shattered the long-standing bond between the two hip-hop giants. This is no longer just a paternity dispute. It's a revelation threatening to rewrite the legacy of two of music's most powerful figures.
I have no felonies. I'm not crazy or none of that. It's like, I just want the truth, and it's so hard to get it from the courts. And it seems like Jay-Z don't want to say anything. So, I don't want to see him go down for something that, you could have just got taken care of. That's it.
For years, the world has known about Rymir Satterthwaite, whose mother, Wanda, swore under oath that she had an intimate encounter with Jay-Z in 1992 when she was just 16. Rymir was born the following year. The case was dismissed as tabloid drama until 2025, when Rymir filed a new lawsuit accusing Jay-Z's legal team of fraud to avoid a court-ordered paternity test. While Jay-Z's lawyers called it harassment, the case wasn't thrown out. And Wanda's now public affidavit brought another name into the spotlight, Letitia Mayer, 28, who's long claimed Jay-Z is her real father and, according to former Rockefeller insiders, has allegedly received financial support from him under the condition she stays silent. Now, insiders tied to the case allege that at least two of Diddy's children may not be his, suggesting that during the height of Jay-Z and Diddy's public friendship, Jay-Z was secretly involved with women in Diddy's inner circle, potentially fathering children without Diddy's knowledge. If true, it not only exposes hidden affairs but suggests a deeper betrayal, one buried behind money, silence, and superstar alliances.
This morning, rap mogul Jay-Z is denying allegations he assaulted a 13-year-old girl alongside rapper Sean Diddy Combs. That civil lawsuit filed against Combs in October was amended Sunday to include Jay-Z. The accuser, identified only as Jane Doe, says she was assaulted by both.
That revelation alone could destroy any friendship. But the history between Jay-Z and Diddy makes it even more explosive. Their bond dates back to the late 90s, shortly after Biggie's death, when they first collaborated and appeared on each other's albums. By 2005, they were donating $1 million together for Hurricane Katrina relief. And in 2020, they were side by side at the Black Billionaire Brunch, raising glasses, embracing and speaking about unity. On that stage, Diddy declared a new era of brotherhood and power, with Jay-Z at his side, both smiling for the cameras, seemingly inseparable, while the truth behind closed doors may have been anything but.
I think that they don't want, if they was in any of those freak-off tapes, if they played a part in any of those Diddy sessions, they don't want it to get out to the general public to make a...
Behind the polished public moments, there were always signs of strain. One infamous example still whispered about in industry circles is the 2007 Screamfest incident, where Diddy slapped Jay-Z twice on stage in front of a packed crowd. It was brushed off at the time as playful, but insiders now say it was a flashpoint, a release of long-held tension over Jay-Z's rumored involvement with women close to Diddy. By 2024, the brotherhood had unraveled completely. When Diddy was arrested on charges related to trafficking and coercion, Jay-Z stayed silent. No public defense, no social media support. Even 50 Cent mocked the silence, suggesting Jay-Z was hiding, but those close to the situation claim it was calculated. Just weeks earlier, Diddy had allegedly discovered overlapping paternity claims involving Jay-Z and women in his inner circle. And it wasn't just betrayal, it was personal. And it left Diddy livid.
And I'm not saying allegedly.
Oh.
I'm saying, Sean Carter, you're a piece of shit. Taking Pimp C wasn't bad enough. You just want to go down there and you want to just remove all of the balls from every real gangster in Houston.
A darker rumor has been circulating quietly in industry backrooms. Not only did Jay-Z betray Diddy by allegedly getting involved with women in his circle, but he may have also played a role in Diddy's downfall, or at least chose not to stop it. Whispered claims suggest Jay-Z had access to sealed information about Diddy's past parties and used it, or made a call, but none of that's been verified. What is confirmed, however, is that both Jay-Z and Diddy were named in a civil suit by Jane Doe, accusing them of assault in 2000 when she was underage, a suit that was amended in December 2024 just as Diddy's legal troubles exploded. Jay-Z dismissed it as blackmail. Diddy denied everything, but the timing raised eyebrows. And here's the twist. Insiders from both Rockefeller and Bad Boy say Jay-Z has always had a talent for staying clean while others burn, stepping back just as the fire starts. They point to how he quietly cut ties with Diddy after the FBI raid in March 2024. No public defense, no show of loyalty, just silence. Now, as Diddy serves a 50-month prison sentence, Jay-Z's empire keeps rising, unscathed by the same scandals that destroyed his former brother-in-arms.
And I have to still say allegedly, has done things and allegedly participated in a lot of things that the public would not be happy to know.
But silence can't shield Jay-Z anymore. The Satterthwaite lawsuit isn't fading, Letitia's claims aren't disappearing, and now people are connecting the dots between Jay-Z's alleged behavior and Diddy's downfall, raising the possibility of a calculated setup. If Diddy unknowingly raised children fathered by Jay-Z, then their public brotherhood was the ultimate betrayal. And the fallout is only beginning. The scandals don't end with Diddy's kids. They go deeper. A civil lawsuit amended in late 2024 accused both Jay-Z and Diddy of assaulting a 13-year-old girl in 2000, after allegedly drugging her at a post-VMA party. Jay-Z denied it, calling it a blackmail attempt, but one haunting detail lingers. The unnamed female celebrity the victim claims watched it happen. No name, no statement, no denial. Just another unanswered question in a growing storm of secrets.
A blistering statement. Jay-Z accuses Jane Doe's attorney of trying to blackmail him. He said further, quote, "These allegations are so heinous in nature that I implore you to file a criminal complaint, not a civil one. Whomever would commit such a crime against a minor should be locked away."
While the latest lawsuit is shocking to the public, whispers of similar misconduct have circulated behind the scenes for years. Industry insiders speak of unspoken rules at exclusive parties, who was allowed entry, who had to surrender their phones, and who was expected to comply without question. Diddy's infamous freak-offs are now courtroom history, where prosecutors detailed patterns of coercion, luxury hotels, controlled environments, and women instructed when and how to perform. Though Diddy denied trafficking, his conviction for transporting women across state lines is now a matter of record. As for Jay-Z, he wasn't charged in the 2025 trial, but witnesses testified that powerful men, including names still dominating headlines, controlled access and silence in those circles. With claims that Jay-Z moved freely in that world, the question becomes less about what he did and more about what he allowed. A former Roc Nation employee summed it up. You didn't need to see everything to know exactly what was going on.
But after that major documentary comes out on Diddy, then you're going to start to hear more and more about Jay-Z and his nefarious.
Jay-Z's legal troubles go far beyond secretive parties and behind-the-scenes accusations. In 2025, Rymir Satterthwaite came back to court armed with new evidence, accusing Jay-Z's legal team of fraud for allegedly lying about property ownership in New Jersey to dodge a court-ordered DNA test. While Jay-Z's lawyers insisted he had no ties to the state, public records allegedly linked him to multiple properties under corporate names. Rymir's mother, Wanda, who swore she had a relationship with Jay-Z at 16 before her death, left behind a sworn affidavit that still haunts the case. Jay-Z's team continues to call it harassment, but critics see a billionaire using legal power to avoid proving paternity. And Rymir isn't alone. Letitia Murr, who claims to be Jay-Z's daughter, says her family always knew the truth, and multiple insider reports claim Jay-Z has been quietly paying her bills for years, on the condition she stays silent and keeps his photos off her walls. If that isn't an admission, it's a carefully managed cover-up unraveling in real time.
Anything, so why wouldn't I believe my mom? Like, you know, we could have been settled this, and it only takes a conversation and some words, you know. I'm not a hateful guy. I don't hate anyone. I'm not after nobody. I'm not trying to see no one downfall, but this is just some, you know, some things that just went through court, and they just expected me to just sit there and just take what they were saying.
But beneath the surface, this isn't just about money. It's about power. Jay-Z has crafted his legacy as the standard bearer of Black business excellence, and his highly publicized $25 million donation with Diddy during the Hurricane Katrina telethon was framed as a shining moment of philanthropy and unity. Yet, according to a former label executive, that grand gesture wasn't just about charity, it was strategic damage control. The exec claims the donation was intended to divert attention from mounting harassment allegations inside both their camps. In other words, what the public saw as generosity may have been a calculated effort to launder their image, while darker truths simmered beneath the spotlight.
As far as, is he going to turn people in? Is he going to cooperate? If the federal government wants him to cooperate, and they're going to cut his time, because right now he's looking at 15 to life. With all the charges he had to, he won't get out till 70 years old. He about 70. That's when they start talking about letting him come to a halfway house.
And those whispers haven't stopped. After Diddy's arrest, Jay-Z's silence raised eyebrows across the industry. No statements, no visits, no legal fundraisers, just quiet detachment. Some thought it was self-preservation. Others thought it was fear. But now, according to 3 independent sources, that silence was deliberate and strategic. But there's one more layer to this, and it involves Beyoncé. Back in 2003, Beyoncé released Summertime, a lesser-known track that quietly featured Jay-Z. Around the same period, Diddy was working closely with her team on production credits tied to her debut solo era. On the surface, it looked like mutual support from hip-hop's elite. But some industry veterans now wonder whether Jay-Z's move to jump on that track was more calculated. Was it a simple musical collab? Or was Jay-Z inserting himself into Beyoncé's rise to keep tabs on the man already circling her career? At that moment, Diddy was everywhere. Events, parties, studio sessions, and Jay-Z had every reason to stay close, if only to watch what Diddy might uncover. Fast forward nearly 2 decades, and the dynamic gets even murkier. In 2020, a wave of quiet tension swept through Beyoncé's fan base when whispers emerged that her team had known about the Reimer situation for years and chose to stay silent. One former associate from her label claimed that Beyoncé's management had seen legal correspondence related to Jay-Z's paternity cases as early as 2018. There were concerns not just about scandal, but about brand integrity. If Beyoncé stood by a man who had allegedly fathered multiple secret children while avoiding tests, what did that say about the empire they'd built together? The decision, according to insiders, was to freeze it out, ignore the noise, keep it clean.
What I've heard about them as a couple is that they've been living separate lives for a very long time.
But the silence now feels less like discretion and more like strategy. As Jay-Z quietly distances himself from Diddy and more paternity claims surface, the spotlight inevitably shifts to Beyoncé. Known as the embodiment of empowerment, motherhood, and control, she has never publicly addressed the growing number of women alleging ties to her husband, despite viral videos and side-by-side comparisons capturing millions of views. Not even a subtle denial from her team, which raises a provocative question. If Diddy's kids might not all be his, does Beyoncé already know the truth about Jay-Z's alleged children? And is her silence a calculated choice to protect the Carter legacy? More than a family issue, this is a question of brand preservation. Beyoncé has built an empire on precision and unity, but these scandals threaten to crack that flawless image. If Jay-Z's silence is legal strategy, Beyoncé's may be legacy strategy, protecting her children from a reality that can't be unspun. Because in a world where billions and reputations hang in the balance, the person saying nothing may be the one holding the biggest truth.
And we may actually see one of the biggest divorces in Hollywood is because Jay-Z is up next to be exposed.
Interview 11. According to an entertainment attorney tied to the case, Jay-Z had early warning that federal investigators were closing in on Diddy's inner circle, and he acted accordingly. Not only did he cut off business ties and create distance, but he allegedly moved assets in anticipation of the fallout. This wasn't reaction, it was strategy. And here's the real twist. The scandal might not be about who fathered Diddy's children, but about who's controlled the story all along. Jay-Z has survived cheating scandals, violent allegations from his early days, civil suits, and now looming paternity claims, rising in power every time. But with lawsuits piling up and more women stepping forward with stories that sound all too familiar, that bulletproof control is starting to crack. One former Rockefeller associate said it plainly. Jay always knew. He always shut it down before it got to him. But now, sealed records are opening, and even Beyoncé's silence, once a shield, feels like distance. No joint interviews, no family unity on display. It's not proof of guilt, but it's proof something's changed. And more revelations may be just around the corner.
After they are done with Diddy, Jay-Z is up next to be exposed.
Interview 12. As Rymir's federal lawsuit moves forward and Letitia's supporters continue circulating striking side-by-side photos, the spotlight keeps tightening around Jay-Z. Meanwhile, Diddy, already behind bars, is rumored to be negotiating potential cooperation if prosecutors bring more charges. And here's where it gets dangerous. If Diddy talks, he won't just expose himself. He'll expose everyone who was in the room with him. And that list runs deep. So if Jay-Z's secrets are finally unraveling, the real question becomes, who's next? What hasn't been revealed yet? Drop your thoughts in the comments. Are we seeing the beginning of the end, or just scratching the surface of something much bigger? Until next time, stay sharp, stay curious, and remember, silence isn't always innocence.